Today I'm sharing 3 spring-inspired dinner recipes that you guys are gonna absolutely love. These are light and fresh with seasonal ingredients. They're super delicious and really quick and easy to make, so let's get to it. We're starting things off with a really nice one-pot meal that has Greek chicken and potatoes in it with lots of lemon. This one's ready in about an hour, but it's really hands-off because we're gonna be popping it into the oven to finish. It has chicken thighs, so it's really high in protein, plus we're adding our potatoes right into the pot. This recipe has really healthy, fresh ingredients, which I absolutely love for spring. We're gonna be starting off with some prep work. We have just about a half a cup of yellow onion we need diced. Then we have 3 garlic cloves that we're gonna mince up. We're also gonna mince a tablespoon of fresh dill, which is gonna top the dish at the end and it just looks so pretty and tastes amazing. Then we got some gold potatoes. I like to get the smallest ones possible for this and slice them in half because we wanna make sure they cook all the way through. We're also using a full lemon for this recipe. We just need the juice. We're not doing any zest. And then for the chicken, we're doing a boneless, skinless chicken thigh. These can sometimes be a little bit fatty, so I like to trim them up a little bit. Smart chicken is always a really good option because they always come super clean. Like, you don't have to do much. And then we're gonna season them with some salt and pepper. Get our oven preheated to 375 degrees, and then into a Dutch oven over medium heat, we wanna add a tablespoon of olive oil. We're gonna go ahead and cook our chicken thighs on each side just for 2 minutes. Just give them a little bit of a sear, and then these are gonna get transferred to a plate. Once that Dutch oven is empty again, we're gonna add a tablespoon of olive oil and add in our onions. Cook these for a few minutes until they're nice and softened, and then we're gonna add in our potatoes. We just wanna cook these for a few minutes too. And next up, we're gonna add our garlic. We have all of our Greek spices, and we have a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, which adds so much great flavor. We're gonna stir this in. Next up, we're gonna add a half a cup of chicken stock. You wanna use chicken stock over broth here because it's cooked with the bones, and it's gonna bring in a lot more rich flavors. And then we're juicing an entire lemon right into the pot. Next up, we're gonna nestle that chicken back in, and I like to go ahead and add my lemons back to the pot as well. We're gonna cover this up and we're gonna cook this for about 18 to 20 minutes until the internal temperature of our chicken is 165 degrees. Once that's done, I like to broil it for a little bit just to make it a little bit more crispy on top. Top it with our dill, and what I love about this recipe is there's this delicious, juicy sauce. You can pour it right over your food, and then I'm topping mine with a little bit more sour cream and dill because it's just so delicious. You guys let me know in the comments if you're gonna make that Greek chicken. I love a one-pot meal, and that one is really delicious. Next up, we have a spring pasta. This is a vegetarian recipe, but you could definitely add in chicken or shrimp if you need to add a little bit more protein in. This is an asparagus and pea pasta. We're using a creamy pesto sauce that is just absolutely delicious. This one is so good, so let's get started. Okay, so for our pea and asparagus pasta, this is like a really easy recipe because we don't have a lot to prep. I'm using some pesto sauce in the actual sauce because I don't want to chop up garlic and it just brings in a ton of flavor. I'm just using a store-bought pesto to make things really easy. For our asparagus, so they come in a bundle like this if you haven't worked with them before. So like when you bend these in half like that, it's gonna break. That's what you want to keep. So you can see like it's really not that much of it. It's like half of it. The other end of it is really just kind of like bitter tasting, so you really don't want that. But what I do a lot of times, because you guys, I'm kind of lazy sometimes as far as cooking goes, I will take my knife and I'll just like cut the ends off. So I've got a bundle right now, like these are rubber banded, okay? So literally I just cut off the whole end and they stay together like this. I can just toss it and not have to break every single piece because I'm not trying to do that. Okay, and then we're making a pasta, so we want these on the smaller side so I can just toss them into our pasta. So we're gonna be cutting these again. I'm gonna cut each piece in like 3 pieces. These are gonna get roasted in the oven in some olive oil and salt and pepper, just really simple. For our prep work, we're also gonna shred a half cup of Parmesan cheese. I love the Parmesan Reggiano if you can get it. I like to do this on a fine setting so it melts like as soon as it hits the sauce. And if you can't get the Reggiano or if it's just like out of your price range, it's no big deal. Just make sure to get it from a block because if you use like a bagged pre-shredded cheese, it's gonna have anti-caking agents in it and it just doesn't melt well. The only other thing that we're chopping up is just some parsley. This is gonna go on the top at the very end. Once we get our asparagus chopped into 3 pieces, we're gonna transfer it to a cookie sheet. We wanna get the oven preheated to 400 degrees because we're gonna roast this asparagus. And what we're gonna do next is we're just gonna top it with a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon or so. Just give that a nice drizzle over the top. And we're gonna season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Next, you're just gonna use your hands just to give it a little toss, just to get everything really nice and coated in that oil so it doesn't burn up in the oven. Depending on how thick your asparagus is, I really like to buy the thinner kind for this. You can see like, it definitely comes in a lot of different sizes. You can buy them when they're really, really thick. I would look for a thinner one if possible because they're gonna roast a little bit faster in the oven. You wanna stick these in the oven until they're nice and tender, but they're not like burnt and black. We just want them roasted. So mine are probably gonna take about 10 to 12 minutes. As that asparagus is roasting, we're gonna bring a large pot of water to a boil to cook our pasta. I'm just using 8 ounces of a casarice pasta. You can use shells, rotini, but I do like a medium-sized pasta, even like a penne would be great. And as that's cooking, we're gonna get started on our pesto Alfredo sauce, which is just this light, creamy, delicious sauce. For our pesto sauce, it is really simple ingredients. We're gonna start with just some butter and heavy cream. We're gonna let this sit together for about 6 minutes on low heat. Give it a nice stir. You don't wanna boil this, but you do want it to get nice and hot. Then we're just gonna add in a dash of salt and pepper and our shredded Parmesan cheese. Like I said, this is gonna melt super quickly. We're also gonna add in some frozen peas, and I like to let these sit on the countertop for about 30 minutes before I add them in. That way they're like almost thawed out. And we're gonna add a tablespoon of pesto sauce. You can use store-bought or you can use my homemade recipe. If you use the homemade, it ends up being a little bit greener. And then I'm gonna add in some pasta water. Make sure to reserve some pasta water for this recipe because it is like magic. Anytime that sauce thickens up too much, you can just add a tablespoon or two and it will thin it right out. Then we're gonna pull out our asparagus from the oven, let that sit for a second while we transfer our pasta over, toss that asparagus right in, and then we're just gonna give this a nice toss. I like to squeeze my lemon juice right over the top of it and then add in some additional Parmesan cheese. This one's so yummy. You guys, this one turned out so good. I could eat this for lunch every single day. I'm going in for it. The pesto sauce is, the Alfredo sauce is like really light from the pesto. It's not like super heavy like a regular Alfredo sauce. It's so yummy. Next up, we have one of my favorites. This is an oven-baked salmon with a chili lime rub. It is so good, and we're pairing it with a mango salsa that is just over the top. These flavors are so fresh and delicious. You guys gotta try this one. So let's get cooking. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start by cutting our mangoes. I like to take the opposite side of the stem side, and you're gonna find this little nook right here. You can actually feel it with your finger. You can see how like it goes like big and then kind of like dips in. We're gonna cut that first. And when you're cutting, you kind of want to run around that pit a little bit. Just like that. And now we're gonna make 3 more cuts. This is gonna be our really big side, and then we're gonna do another skinny one. And then we've got another big one. And then what I do next, my kids will eat this, they love it. And then this one, we're just gonna do some grid lines in. And then you can either eat it like this. In this, since we're making pico, we are gonna go ahead and scoop it right into our bowl like this. And it scoops pretty easy. As long as it's ripe, it'll scoop right out of the shell like this. And you can definitely do smaller. Mine were on a little bit of the larger side. We have the mango in the bowl. We are ready to make our pico de gallo. I like to even make this a day ahead. It's just super easy. I'm gonna add some jalapeno in. We have a juice from 1 lime, and then we're doing some red onion. Just cut this up nice and diced. Everything can be on the larger side here. It's really not a big deal because it's pico. Then we're adding in some cilantro, squeezing that fresh lime juice. We have some sugar and salt, and then hot sauce and a little bit of cumin. I love cumin for pico de gallo and guacamole. It's such a good little flavor addition. Give this a stir, and then this can go in the fridge while we cook our fish. I'm doing some rice with mine, just some white rice. I'm gonna stick it in the rice cooker. I'm just doing 1 cup. I like to rinse my rice, and then I have 2 cups of water. This is like one of my favorite rice cookers. It works so good. And then as far as the fish goes, we are just using some shallot and garlic. For seasoning, we have some lime juice. We've got olive oil. I'm gonna add in that shallot and garlic right into the bowl, and then we're using a lot of chili powder. If I can make it into the bowl, that'd be great. We got some cumin and some salt, and then you're just gonna give this a really nice stir. This salmon is oven baked, which makes things so easy. All we're gonna do is just transfer it to a cookie sheet with some foil, lay that salmon out, and then we wanna just brush that marinade all over the top. I like to add a couple little lime slices to it, and then this is gonna go in the oven. It's at 400 degrees, and you just need to check the internal temperature. I usually try and pull it around 135. This is gonna take maybe 10 to 15 minutes to cook depending on the heat of your oven. It's just super easy. Once you pull it out, just let it sit for a few minutes and then it's just gonna flake off the skin. You don't even need to pull the skin off. I like to serve mine with my white rice and then a ton of that pico de gallo. It's just so fresh and delicious. This one is super good and so healthy. That's a wrap on our spring recipes. These dinner recipes are so delicious. You guys are gonna absolutely love them. Quick, easy, and really fresh and delicious. Let me know in the comments which one you're gonna make this week, or are you gonna make all of them? Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like and make sure to subscribe for new recipes every single week. I love sharing my recipes with you. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.